Hey everyone, my name's Lavonne and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I apologize for my little hiatus, but I am back. Before I get started, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment below. I always love hearing from you and hearing your suggestions for future videos. Today is a very special day because I'm gonna be talking to you partners, so the people that are gonna be present for her labor and birth. I get to give you some tips and tricks to help you know what to do, help you feel more confident and be more engaged with her birth experience. Let's get started. Okay, gotta get back in the swing of things. As I've said before, that the two things that are the biggest influencers of her birth experience are one, that she felt like she made all of the decisions for herself for her labor and birth, and then number two is that she never felt alone. And so you partners have so much influence over that positive birth memory. I think it is possible that you can walk through your birth together and by the end be even more in love, even more connected, and have this shared experience that will bond you for the rest of your life. I think a lot of times it's easy to put all of the focus on the pregnant woman when we forget that there's actually a lot of times a partner involved who wants to be present but sometimes doesn't know what to do. When I'm supporting somebody in labor, I'm not only supporting the pregnant person in labor, but I'm also supporting their partner, because partners, how many of you are a little bit nervous about this day? It's not always the funnest or most comfortable thing to watch somebody that you love and you care about in pain. And so what are some of the things that you can do? That's exactly what we're gonna talk about today. So I'm gonna give you a few tips, some tricks, and some things that you can do to help make her feel more comfortable and actually influence her birth experience to potentially help her feel more safe and supported and informed, and make sure that she doesn't feel alone in her labor and birth. The first thing I want to tell you is, and it may sound so simple, but hear me out, is to be present with her. When you're talking about leaving work and you're anticipating that with your job, make sure that they know that when you're in labor, you'll let them know and then you are offline. Okay, there's nothing worse than her being in like the heat of the moment and the partner like being on the phone, or should I go call this person, or hold on, I have to go finish this thing up. This is your shared experience together. I think a lot of times the guy or the partner feels left out, that like they're not the one having the experience. But when you choose to engage and choose to be present, it's actually your memory too. When you're present and you're paying attention, phones are away, computer is closed, everybody else is turned off, your whole world exists in that labor room wherever you are, you're gonna think about the ways that you can fill in the gaps. A lot of times when a woman's in the throes of labor, she's not gonna be really paying attention to her basic needs, such as thirst, such as hunger, such as little annoyances in the room. So when you're paying attention to what's going on, you're gonna notice some things. For example, if my mouth is, sounds gross. If my mouth is, what do I need? Water, okay? If my hair is in my face like this, and I'm breathing, in labor, she may be like, I don't even care, it's totally fine. But instead, you're present, you're watching, and you're saying, this is probably not the most comfortable thing. Instead, you can jump in. You can jump in and you can pull her hair back, and then all of a sudden she's like, oh my gosh, I feel so much better and I didn't even know I could feel that good, okay? These are simple things, but they really do make all the difference. If her mouth is dry, what does she need? Chapstick, okay? If she hasn't eaten or she hasn't peed in like 10 hours, suggest, babe, why don't you try going to the bathroom? You're really stalling for time as well, right? You're trying to give her something else to do to pass the time and have a few more contractions. So as you're present and you're paying attention to those things, one, you're looking at her, what might she need? If she's dripping in sweat, get a washcloth, wipe her brow. If she's super hot, fan her with something, right? Like even a piece of paper, like just fan her and she'll go like, oh, that feels so good, okay? And then you're contributing to that positive birth memory. Also, you think about what's the environment that maybe you've talked about setting, but also that the mood that maybe she's feeling. If she's needing to be energized, what can you do to help energize her? Lights could come on. The temperature could drop so she's a little bit cooler, because anybody that's hot, you're like, okay, it just makes you feel like lethargic, right? But also, maybe you want to bring the lights down and you want to set this kind of spa-like atmosphere. Throw on a diffuser with some yummy essential oils, or put out some flameless candles or flaming candles. Flaming candles? Flames with candles? Candles with flames? You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden this room turns into this like, right? If you're trying to set the mood at home, think about what you do. You set the mood. So the same thing happens for labor mood, and that really can kind of help with her birth memory as well as yours. The next thing I want to tell you is that when in doubt, maybe you're feeling overwhelmed, maybe you're feeling like, oh, I don't know what to do. She's in the zone, she's bouncing on a birth ball, or maybe she's kind of like just swaying and rocking. I always joke whenever I get back from a birth that I have the labor sway for like a day, because when in doubt, you sway with her. You do what she's doing. So number 2, do what she's doing. So if she's swaying, sway. If she's rubbing her hip, okay, that's an indication. 1, she's giving extra energy to rub the hip, but she's rubbing it because it feels uncomfortable, right? So instead, you can jump in because you're being present and you're saying, babe, I got this. Like, I'm gonna rub your hip for you. And she's like, okay, harder. Oh no, right there. Oh yeah, that feels so good. And then it takes her away from her hip pain because now you've covered that. And now she can come back to being centered, focusing on her breath and focusing on coping with the contractions. Which leads me to number 3, and I wasn't ever planning on numbering these, but I guess you get number 3 now, is to pay attention to her breath. Women that are coping in labor always have control of their breath. And so maybe she's been kind of like rocking and swaying and breathing slowly in and out, and things start intensifying. And you see her start holding her breath maybe, or maybe it's more like this, oh my God. Instead of just saying like, oh no, you got this, and freaking out with her, she is looking to you for her energy, right? That you kind of help set the energy in the room. And so if you can stay calm, even though inside you're probably freaking out, okay? This is why you have a doula, just saying. If you can act calm on the outside, she's gonna look to you and she's gonna pull from that energy. So then, when in doubt, do what she does and help her stay focused on her breath. So as she maybe, okay, and you can say, breathe, baby, breathe, but that might be kind of annoying. So instead, it's nice, encouraging things like, breathe with me, you can do this, let's stick with your breath, I'll do it with you. Or what I do a lot of times with my doula clients is to just start breathing like really audibly. So, ha, ha, super cute, I know. Or I'll, so that I can hear it, right? So she can hear it, because a lot of times they just need that quick reminder, like, oh yeah, I'm focusing on my breath. And then all of a sudden she can kind of come back to her breath. The last thing is pay attention to the words that are being said. So, and it kind of builds on that one. So instead of, babe, you look so tense, okay? Probably not the nicest way to say it. You could say, drop your shoulders, loosen your body, surrender to this contraction. You can do this. I'm right here with you. I'm so sorry it hurts, but I'm right here and I'm so proud of you and I'm so grateful that you're doing this for us and for this baby. If she were to open her eyes from a contraction and see that look on your face, that look on your face makes all the difference. If she opens her eyes and looks like, and you're looking like, oh my God, like what is going on in the world? She's gonna start freaking out too. She might be self-conscious and might be like, oh, what am I doing? Am I being weird? Am I making noise? Am I flailing around? What am I doing wrong? Instead of, she needs to feel empowered to do whatever feels right. So if she's, you know, maybe not that. If she's, okay, maybe not that either. If she's making a lot of noise, or if she's moaning a lot in labor, or maybe she's tapping, okay? And like, hopefully not like banging herself in the head, but you really never know what's gonna come out. This is a rhythm that may be really helpful and coping and soothing to her. So if she's doing that, you may be thinking like, this is the weirdest thing that's ever happened to me. But instead, when she opens her eyes, she's gonna see on your face, you got this. I'm so proud of you. Look at you listening to your body. You're doing everything that we talked about. I am right here, whatever you need, just speak up and we're gonna do this together. If you can be present with her and you're paying attention to those needs that she might be missing in the moment, when in doubt, you do what she does, you help her keep her breath, you tell her encouraging, loving things like you're there, like you're with her, like she's not alone, you got this, I'm so proud of you. And even when she doesn't believe in herself, that you believe in her, she's gonna feel so much safer, so much more supported, and she's gonna feel like she can do this. It's gonna give her that extra push to keep going. Partners, I encourage you to go and talk to your pregnant woman. for lack of a better word, I don't know what else to call you, pregnant people out there, go to her and ask her what support looks like to her. Actually have an intentional conversation. What do you feel like you're gonna need from me? What are some things that maybe you're nervous about and that you wanna talk about ahead of time that could come up in your labor? And pay attention to those key kind of phrases that she might need to hear. You know her better than the nurses do, than the doctors do, than your doula does. And so she really, like, you are her go-to person and you really can fill in those gaps better than anybody else can. But when you have that conversation, she can tell you some of those key things. Likely what you're gonna hear is, I need you to be there. I need you to not back away. I need you to be present and to be engaged in the situation with me. And when you are present and you do those things, you can have even more of a positive birth memory. Thanks everyone for being with me here today. I hope that it makes you feel even more confident as you walk into your labor and birth together. As usual, don't forget to subscribe, comment, like, whatever. I look forward to hearing from you. And until next time, don't forget to flex and flow. Bye. Partners, where I give you some tips. Oh my God. I just like neighed like a horse. And add on and support all of that. No, that's dumb. It's likely not gonna be the something that you anticipate seeing somebody that you love that's in pain, labor. Labor and birth, having had such a special, I think it's possible for couples to walk out of their labor and birth feeling, I like legitimately cannot talk today. I don't know what's going on. I need coffee or wine or something. Is to pay attention to her breath. So if the women, whoa, oh, geez. Partners, I encourage you to talk to your pregnant woman, if you can tell her encouraging, loving things. And what was the second thing? And when you do, you both can have such a better, more positive birth experience that you'll tell for the rest of your life. I say that every time. So you can feel even more confident walking into this labor with your woman. Thanks everyone for being with me here today. Woo, I do this so many times. All right, I got nothing else. I'm starting to zone as usual. It's the usual.